Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Around the Pound. I am your host, Chris, aka The Mole. Joining me, as usual on this, is James Phoenix,
Hello.
Marcus Shadow,
Here to show you the light.
and our special guest this week, Anastasia Laserbeam, aka The Pew Pew.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Okay, and as usual, we're going to go with the news and then a catch-up. So, yay, first of all, serious news, then regular Joe. So yeah, first up, I shall go first with the news. Why the fuck not? I'm going to announce Disney announced that Alice in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass will start shooting this week, revealing a new synopsis for the James Bobbin directed film in the process. The Alice in Wonderland sequel will see Alice Kingsley, played by Mia, and I can't pronounce her last name, Wasikowska, or whatever the fuck it was, on an adventure to help the Mad Hatter, portrayed once again by Johnny Depp, once more will be transported back to Wonderland, but Disney is also promising a trip back in time. Along with Depp and Wachowski, or however you pronounce it, Helen Bonham Carter will return as the Red Queen, Anne Hathaway will return as the White Queen, Matt Lucas as Tweedledee Tweedledum, and of course, new cast members. The new ones include Reyes Ifans as the Mad Hatter's father, and Sacha Baron Cohen as Time itself.
I believe it's
And
pronounced Reese Fawns.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And this comes out in theaters May 27th, 2016, Through the Looking Glass.
Nice.
Hopefully it'll be good.
Hopefully.
Yep, I'm hoping it is. I like the first one. I really did
Also,
like
for
the
the
first one. I'm a little disappointed it's not got Tim Burton back, but still.
Also, for the record, it's Mia Wasikowska, just for the record.
Okay. So who wants to go next with their bit of news?
Is that how you do it? Just one at a time, like one bit, and then you go around like I guess 3 times or however many people have.
Yep.
That is correct.
You don't watch our stuff?
Nope.
Put your hand over your heart and repeat after me.
You're breaking my heart.
You have to have one to break.
We, the people.
I have a heart. I stole it off some kid.
I said you might have a heart, because how else would you want to
Thank you. But yeah, so which one of you, one of my merry men, would like to go next?
I'll go.
I am not a merry
I was
man.
gonna wait because I only.
Sorry.
'cause I only have like
sorry,
3 on my
in your
list.
case, you're a merry woman. My bad.
I'll go. I'll do something. This is probably my littlest news, although they're all like kind of the same size. Okay.
we don't bother with size on this one. It's just any order you want.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we don't want to talk about size. It upsets Jeff.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Mark.
Anyway, so the San Diego Comic-Con is being sued by the Salt Lake Comic-Con because San Diego is suing Salt Lake because they both have the name Comic-Con, and apparently they're getting confused which Comic-Con is the real Comic-Con. So they said the San Diego one said the Salt Lake has to change its name.
So what, are
real
they gonna
Comic-Con?
sue Seattle next?
The
what
real
about the-
Comic-Con will be whichever one actually features just comics.
Yeah, because
Comic-Con.
they said, and quote, there is some confusion on which Comic-Con, there's some confusion that which Comic-Con delivers the source material, sponsorship, and goods and services of like the Comic-Con, and says, well, people might think that the San Diego Comic-Con might have, the Salt Lake stuff, or it gets confusing or whatever. So they said
fair
that you
enough.
can't, yeah.
My guess is like the Comic-Con New York, and I think possibly the Seattle one. They're done by one company, so it's like a franchise. Whereas this sounds like it's not one of the franchise ones. Okay.
Yeah, so they said you can't call it that because people get confused which what is at which Comic-Con. So they said they're gonna just call it the they said they're just gonna be a part of Fan X Comic-Con instead. Like the Salt Lake one has to be part of Fan X Comic-Con or Fan X convention. So
That's what the website's for.
yeah. So that was apparently they sued like the other. I don't know. It's Comic Con v Comic Con, like head versus head, you know. But
I
I think
preferred Kramer v. Kramer.
there we go.
Poor Salt Lake.
Was Kramer v. Kramer the fight who actually did the
Wow, lots of lag or something breaking up.
Yeah, you sound like Stephen Hawking going through a tunnel.
Pretty much, yeah.
But who wants to go next with their news? Will it be the beautiful Asian? Or the sexual librarian?
I don't think we have any of those things here.
Wouldn't he be the asexual librarian?
He's a sexual librarian. And he's disappeared.
Now, let's not insult Noah Wiley. He's actually good.
His mother can only stand to be so far away from him for so long.
No, I think we lost Jim. Okay, Marcus, you go with your news.
Oh wait, he's
Nope,
back.
there he is.
Okay, the sexual librarian did return.
His mother just wanted a quickie.
So, Jim, do you want to go or you want me to go? No, I think we lost him. Okay, I will go. No, he's moving.
I'm back.
Ah! I'll go anyway.
Okay. You want to go or you want me to go? You go ahead. Okay.
I'll go. All right, I'll start with this one. X-Men: Days of Future Past is coming out on Blu-ray this October, but then sometime next year, in 2015, they will be releasing an extended director's cut of X-Men: Days of Future Past on Blu-ray. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that.
They're
Totally
double
buying the extended cut.
Yeah, they're double dipping. I'll think we'll buy it twice.
Yeah, like I said, I'll buy it twice.
I'm not. I'm gonna wait.
I mean, you are talking to the person who owned every official release of Star Wars.
Yep.
Even on Laserdisc. And I don't own a Laserdisc player.
Why not, though? It's cool.
That's for collector's purposes.
Yeah.
That was just to say, yeah, I own it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
By the way, this isn't related to anything, but Mo, what shirt is that you're wearing? 'Cause that looks like a cool shirt.
Ghostbusters
Ghostbusters.
uniform with the photon
Nice.
pop.
I could tell it was a uniform from something. I just couldn't tell what. Right, looked
Yeah,
kind of like a
Ghostbusters
Jedi robe
with-
at first. I'm like, no, it's not a Jedi robe.
With the Stance name plaque.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm the fat
Down
Ghostbuster.
here.
I think
Might
I
as
can
well-
pull off being the fat one.
I think you can do that.
I've had experience.
Exactly. I'll go next. The first thing is we had the announcement from Sony that they will be producing a Spider-Man spin-off, another one, in addition to the existing Venom, Carnage, and Sinister Six films, that will star a female superhero from the Spider-Man universe. Speculation leads to people to say it's probably Black Cat, but other possibilities include Spider-Woman, or maybe even Firestar.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting to see where that goes. Most people think it's Black Cat only because that character was in Amazing Spider-Man 2 and has been kind of set up, so people are thinking maybe that, but it'll be interesting to see where it goes. And that'll also be interesting because I'm pretty sure that's basically going to give Marvel the right to flip a huge finger at DC for having a female-led superhero movie first, even though DC has, the female superhero.
That's technically not Marvel.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not Marvel, that's Sony.
It's
a
not
Marvel
through the Marvel
it's a
Studios, though.
It's a Marvel property, it counts.
Well, if you're going by that, DC did have Supergirl the movie.
True.
But yes, Wonder Woman does need a movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually hoping with that news, I don't know why, I know it's kind of cheesy and baddish, but I actually kind of want it to be Firestorm.
That'd be cool.
You mean Firestar?
Yeah, Firestar, just so we can get the team up later on and have a film of Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
If Marvel ever gets the rights to both Spider-Man and X-Men back at the same time.
No, because I'm thinking they can do her, and they can also do another character and just make it similar or something like that, and put him in there instead. You know what characters they can do?
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be Spider-Man and his amazing friends because it's him, Firestar, and Iceman.
Eh. but it's also not technically the Avengers when you have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and they're not mutants.
Nope.
Touche.
They have enhanced abilities.
Fuck you, Sony.
It's also not the Marvel Universe when all of New York has been attacked by aliens. No sign of Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's probably making a wish to erase it from existence at the time.
Yep.
He was clearly going to college or trying to get money or having, he forgot the eggs or something.
Yeah.
He was too busy wrestling the ghost of Randy Savage.
Yep. But my next bit of news is really small, but I wanted to mention it. There actually hadn't been much news on this. They were remaking The Monster Squad from 1987. Loved that film. It was meant to be made all the way back in 2012 with Rob Cohen. I think it's pronounced. Rob Cohen was meant to be writing it back in 2012. He's recently, Brad Fuller and Andrew Forum said the project is officially no more. Andrew Forum, The Monster Squad, we're not developing anymore. Brad Fuller said, yeah, that's dead. So we're not getting a Monster Squad remake movie, sadly. That's officially been cancelled.
That's too bad.
Indeed.
I love it like that. I love the original, and anyone out there that hasn't seen it, totally recommend checking out Monster Squad. Imagine the Avengers, but instead of superheroes, they're all monsters.
Mm-hmm. Also,
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
Yeah.
No, this was good.
Also, if you haven't seen Marcus Shadow's review yet, you should also check out the movie Monster Brawl.
Yep.
Indeed. That was a fun movie.
Indeed.
That was a fun movie.
So, Stacey, what do you got next?
Alright. Felicia Day's Geek and Sundry will be bought by Legendary Entertainment, but they're still going to use her for new projects and stuff. So that's cool. They're not buying it and fucking it up too much. It sounds like they're still gonna use her to make awesome other new products, both scripted and non-scripted.
Nice.
So at least they still got her, and they're not it doesn't sound like they're turning it into something it wasn't. Which is
That's a good thing.
Good for her.
Happy that she still managed to hold her ground and say you can't just shove your money dick up my face and fuck everything up.
Yep, and she is pretty awesome.
Indeed.
That made me really happy. Little faith in humanity.
Yep, and like I said, if people haven't watched it yet, you totally need to see the Dragon Age internet mini series, which is live action thing. It should be on Machinima, which is totally cool. To check it out, and it tie into the Dragon Age DLC, in which she did the model and voiced it too.
Nice.
Did it take place in before too? Because I know there was a lot of mentions of Kirkwall.
It takes. I believe it takes place before the DLC, just so you get the sense of who the character is when you finally meet him in the DLC.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fair enough.
All right, I guess that's over to me then. All right, let's talk about Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition. Apparently, the X-Bone version is getting a day one patch to allow for true 1080p resolution to match a PS4 version. So yeah, the PS4 version is better. Also, it has been announced that your characters from the PS3 and 360 versions of Diablo 3 can be migrated to the X-Bone and PS4 versions across platform.
I would also say, does that mean the PS4 one's better? If technically day one you get the game patch, boom, it now matches.
Yeah, but PS4 doesn't need the patch. They can play it faster because they don't have to wait for the patch.
But if it's a day one patch, you're technically not waiting for it anyway.
Yeah, it comes on the day when you're doing the mandatory installs.
Yep. But yeah, I thought you'd be happy about that one, the cross-platform migration, or just the migration itself, at least from PS3 to PS4.
That's gonna be.
I am looking forward to that. They had mentioned that a while back where you'd be able to move PS3 to PS4. And like I said, it's pretty cool. I do plan to get the fourth one eventually. I do plan to get the PS4 one eventually.
I'll probably get the PS4 one again.
I think it's cool they made it cross-platform. So, like, if you own the 360 version and you buy the PS4 version, you can just migrate your character over.
Yep. But you
also,
can't migrate the PC ones, can you?
No, only console.
Yep.
So I think they're on different servers. But also, production director John Haidt has been quoted as saying that the PS4 architecture makes it easier to roll out consistent patches. So when patches are released on PC, they will also be rolled out on PS4 shortly after. It'll still take a little time, but it's going to be basically around the same time. So those people who said that the consoles were going to be impossible to patch can suck it.
To be fair, the people who say console patch are idiots. Because PS3, 360 are always getting patches as it is.
Yep.
But you know what I'd really like? And I know this may annoy a lot of PC gamers. I'd actually like it if they released a game complete that didn't require a patch. Like back in the day when you used to buy a SNES game, plug it in, and you didn't have to wait like 30 fucking minutes for it to actually complete the game. You had the game.
Yep.
Like fucking Dead Rising 3 on the Xbox One, a 13 gigabyte patch.
Yeah, well, it takes. Yeah, that's no. But
wow.
Admittedly, the reason it had a 13 gigabyte patch is some of it was fixing stuff. The other part was DLC stuff, so everyone had the DLC. The problem, you put them both together, so it's one giant 13 gigabyte patch.
Jesus.
But in their defense, games nowadays take a whole hell of a lot longer to complete than it did in the NES days, which is, and then with all the like higher ups imposing the deadlines and stuff, they kind of have no choice. This is the only way to do it and get a decent product. Just because nowadays it takes so long to get it done that you can't feasibly get it done within a proper amount of time to release a game. And with the patches, that also allows them to continue to evolve the game and fix things and add things, which I think is good because that means if they can do stuff after the fact, they don't have to get they don't have to have everything they want in the game on day one. They can say, well, here's the core of the game, here's what the game is supposed to be, but we're going to put other stuff on later. Now, Capcom takes the approach, of course, of we're going to put everything on the disc and make you pay for what you already have on the disc.
To be fair, most companies nowadays with the DLC, it's already made before the game comes out, because why do they tell you about it? Like when the wrestling game used to tell you all the list of the DLC and show it you before the game came out.
Yeah,
I just
some do that.
bastards. And I'm like, no. However, I will say with some games, like how they've pushed back Batman and pushed back, they pushed back the new Battlefront game.
Battlefield Hardline,
I wish games would rather push. I'd rather push a game back to fix the patches than have an unreleased game that could have like game-breaking bugs or have just shitloads of bugs. It's like, great, now I have to wait for you to actually finish your job. Bravo.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But at the same time, I also do like the fact that hey, don't get exasperated with me. But I do like the fact that
You want me?
No, Jim. But no, but as I was saying, I do like the fact that with the patches, it means that you will actually get fixes and stuff, as opposed to back in the day when there was no internet, or internet was in its real infancy and they didn't really support it on the consoles. Like, what you got was what you got, broken and all, whereas now if something's broken, at least there's a possibility it'll get fixed, which I'm like, okay, I approve of that.
True, but at least
there's a ability to be fixed. However, nowadays it seems most developers are using that as a crutch and deliberately releasing broken games as fast as possible to make money, and then then we'll finish it. I'm like, fuck off. And even if a game's slightly broken, it's like, go back and play like any of the like original Legend of Zeldas on SNES and NES. There's glitches and bugs in there, but they still hold up compared to games nowadays that require a patch 3 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, with games these days, they're easier to break. So, I mean, it's kind of a give and take. It's like, with the older games, it's like it takes by far less time to produce, and what's produced for the most part isn't broken. Yeah, there's glitches and stuff. There's not much you can do about that, but it's not too terrible. Whereas nowadays, it takes like multiple times longer to even produce, and because of the technology they're using in the programming, it's a lot easier to break it. You're going to have more bugs. You're going to have the game-breaking bugs because the games are that much more complicated now. And unfortunately, the industry, and by extension, us, the players, of the people who buy the games, aren't willing to give the developers the amount of time they need to go through the complexities of making a game. And so, in the interest of making money, because all this is about making money, in the interest of making money, the publisher's like, I don't give a fuck, you will have a game by this date.
Right, and that's
kind of screwed.
Sorry, I'll let Jim go.
I'm only trying to talk for the last 15 minutes. Anyway.
Excuse me if I'm trying to let you go. In that case, I'll
Annoying,
just continue anyway. But no, continue, Jim.
No, I appreciate you letting me go. I'm just saying, like, the last 5 times I've tried to talk, both of you talked right over me. Anyway. 2 things. Number 1, that's...
You mad, bro? My hands are nowhere near it now.
Anyway.
No. Continue.
The first thing, you make a valid point, Marcus, about the games, and, you gotta get it on time. But the thing is, that's nothing to do with us. As Mole has just stated, 98% of gamers at this point in time, hardcore, not the casual, I pick up a game once every 3 months gamer, but like us, we'd rather wait an extra 3 or 4 months and have the completed game. Mole just explained that. So it has nothing to do with us bitching, we want the games in this amount of time. It's the publishers are too fucking greedy and they want their money fucking now. Won't give the game developers time to make the damn games. Because the developers sure as hell ain't getting any of their goddamn money. Because the developers going out of business because the publishers taking all the goddamn money.
Yep. It's like a game I'm excited for comes out 2018. Street Fighter V. 2018, they only just announced it. Most games nowadays, and that's Capcom, so props to Capcom for that one. We're actually starting to listen to fans. But, like, I'm sorry, HD Resident Evil, anyone? Yay.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact they're doing the fact that 2018, that's like 4 or 5 years away, because it might even be delayed till the end of the year, we don't know. But yeah, it's like 4 years away at least. Most games nowadays, they announce it now. Within a year or two, it's out, and then they wonder why it's broken.
Yeah.
Capcom could have easily done like most other developers, just took what they had for Street Fighter 4, upgraded it to HD, added an extra character, and released it as Street Fighter 4 5. But they're like, no, we're actually going to work on it, make sure it's more accurate and stuff like that. So I'm like, cool.
Yeah. And that's a good thing when they do stuff like that, but unfortunately, on the flip side, production time is not a guarantee of quality. Cough Duke Nukem forever.
That wasn't production time, that was sitting on their ass time and twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah, that wasn't production time, that was the fact Gearbox doesn't know how to make a decent game unless it's actually Borderlands, because, hey, let's not forget, they did that. And they also did Aliens Colonel Marines in the same time.
Oh, yeah. And also, the second thing I was going to mention is it just me, or is that's going to be like the gaming industry's next thing? It's now, on the disc, say next is going to be on the disc patches. The patches are already on the disc, but you have to buy them to play the game.
Yep. I could totally see that. And I will say, like I said, with the Street Fighter, and I am actually excited for Street Fighter 5.
That sounds cool.
But over to Jim's news.
Indeed. I'm not playing Street Fighter. I haven't played a Street Fighter game since 2, but maybe I'll rent it now that I work in a library that rents video games.
If you do, get Ultra Street Fighter 4 when it comes out.
Fair enough. Anyway, the next thing on my list, those of you who are anime fans, I am not that big of an anime fan, but I do know that this place does some good films. You're probably familiar with Studio Ghibli. Of course, Ghibli, sorry. Studio Ghibli produces a fine Hayao Miyazaki films for many, many years now. And they've announced that initially the announcement was that they were shutting down production and everybody freaked the fuck out. But after proper translation from what they were actually saying in Japanese, it turns out that what they're actually doing is they're taking a break and restructuring the company a little bit. With the, of course, retirement of Hayao Miyazaki, they're kind of trying to land on their feet here. So they're trying to restructure the company and get it in such a way that they will be able to more properly produce films and more efficiently do what they need to do in this modern era of the filmmaking. So there will inevitably be more Studio Ghibli films. They're not shutting down. They're just taking a break. And hopefully more great films will start to come out thereafter. I know Miyazaki's son has a very prominent role in the new version of the company, so hopefully we'll see some good stuff coming out.
Nice. That does sound like good news.
Yes.
The fact that it's continuing, at least.
Yeah. Everybody freaked out because he's shutting down, but it turns out when they were talking about it, it was in the original Japanese, and there were some bad translations that got over to English that sounded like, shutting down, but the terms they were using were actually not as shutting down. It was more like taking a break, more like stopping temporarily, not stopping permanently.
And my next bit of news, which I believe Pew Pew will probably be the most interested in this one, but still. It's been some time since we had an update on the upcoming Assassin's Creed feature adaptation, which is set to open in 1 year's time on August 7th, 2015. But IGN recently sat down with the star, Michael Fassbender, who confirmed that he's still attached to the project.
He should be. I don't know if you're aware, Mo, but he should be. He's also the producer of the project.
Yeah, but that doesn't. But you sometimes get producers and shit leaving, but they asked him how faithful he thinks it's going to be to the original game. He said, we absolutely want to respect the game. There's so much cool stuff in the game, but we're actually spoiled for choice in terms of what we can do and what we can't do. But we also want to bring a new element to it and perhaps our own version of things that already exist in the game. But we're definitely making a feature film, and we're approaching it as a feature film as opposed to approaching it as a video game. But I love the world. I don't really play many video games, but when I met up with the guys from Ubisoft and they started to explain this whole world and the idea of DNA memory, I think it's very feasible scientific theory. I just thought, this is so rich. And about the possibility of it being this cinematic experience. So I'm really excited about it, and we're working very hard to make sure that what we've got is the best, most exciting original package.
Aw,
Sounds cool.
Indeed.
As long as they're not adapting 3.
As long as they're adapting the first one, I'll probably go see it.
Yeah. As long as they're not adapting 3, that's where Doom went wrong.
Yeah, pretty much.
But more for that next month.
Pew Pew, what do you got?
On XGR's Video Game Awards month.
Oh no. Sounds like fun.
Spoiler alert. Worst comic movie ever. Worst video game movie ever.
Since you also mentioned video games, or video game movies, I think it's good that I go next, because I also have a video game movie. So, Naughty Dog's Last of Us will be adapted into a 2-hour film movie. So, yeah. Director is Neil Druckmann. So, in an interview, he says, in a 2-hour story, in 2 hours, you can't tell the same kind of story like Last of Us, which is 15 hours. And he's in the middle and have been super difficult in what to include. And he says, just the cinematics alone can't fit in the film. So, he's like, they said he's really working hard to keep the same feeling and everything with a smaller time period and everything. Because you can't, you can't include everything in a book in a movie, you can't include everything in a video game in a movie.
Yep.
You can include everything that's relevant in Last of Us in the movie. All you have to do is cut out the bullshit in the middle.
Yeah, aka gameplay. But no.
Exactly. Yeah, not story, therefore irrelevant.
But no, let's just say in terms of story, The Last of Us had 15 hours worth of story. Instead of making a movie, wouldn't that be perfect as like a 16 or 17 episode TV show?
Miniseries. Even if you did a miniseries style and you showed like 2.5, 3 hours a night over the course of a week, you could do it.
Yeah.
Or several movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever heard of Hobbit?
Yeah. Also, I will warn anybody going to see.
Don't call Marcus that. That's not nice. I got your back, Marcus.
Yeah, that's their word.
He face palms when I actually give him a compliment and have his back.
Which is, if you're going to see the Last of Us movie in Seattle, avoid any showings Marcus Shadow is going to, because judging by his feelings on that game, he's probably going to turn it into an Aurora.
No.
Nah, he's gonna Dark Knight Rises opening guy with the gun in it.
There you go.
I'm kidding. No one should ever do that.
That was the same joke I made. That was in Aurora, Illinois. That's why I said that.
Fair enough.
But thank you for clarifying, because clearly nobody got mine.
Yeah, I didn't know where the hell it was. I just knew it was. I was gonna say he was gonna go James on it because I know his name was James Holt or whatever the fuck his name was.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get the confusion between him and you
Yeah.
because at least he's interesting.
Ha!
But no,
Wait,
that
I have a
was
thing for that now. Hang on. There we go.
Thank you. But no,
Anyway. Marcus, what do you got?
that does sound pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the game first, and then I'm going to decide if I want to see the movie.
I have watched a complete Let's Play of the game. I have not played it, so. But
Spoilers too much.
With what I've heard, there wasn't much gameplay in it, so I'm like, well, I could watch it.
I'd say instead of doing that, I'd say when you just watch the film first. The reason why is if you're actually interested in the story, it's like, have you actually read all the Avengers comics ever before you went to see Avengers?
No.
No.
But over to our sexy little tub of Asian delight.
That's what.
Oh, yeah.
Asian Delight.
But yes, Mass Effect creator and creative director Casey Hudson has left BioWare. He's worked on everything from Neverwinter Nights to Knights of the Old Republic, and of course Mass Effect. He just said he wanted a break and time to reevaluate his goals.
Fair enough.
And he also went on record as saying Mass Effect 4 is going to be the best Mass Effect ever.
Yep.
Of course, whether that's the case without him actually at the helm.
Mm-hmm. It'll be the best Mass Effect only because it will retcon the Mass Effect 3 ending.
The Mass Effect F3 ending, the original ending, was actually really good because it made people think. It was just a case of people don't like thinking, so they wanted a shittier ending.
Hmm.
Which I also point out is hypocritical of people.
Very.
Because everyone's like, no, go back and change the Mass Effect 3 ending. Boo. Yay, they finally did it. George Lucas goes back and changes anything to do with Star Wars. Boo, you can't go back and change the original story. What? It's like, fuck off. It was their story to tell. It was their vision. Let them have it. Let them think.
But Mole, this also means if they do, as has been heavily rumored, do end up making another Old Republic game, it's not going to be with its creator at the helm. So that could have ramifications in that universe as well.
Hey, as long as, one, it would have ramifications on that universe would be Disney, and B, so I was already prepared for the worst, and B, it'll still be better than the piece of shit with this Knights of the Old Republic 2. Again, stay tuned for our worst awards next month.
I wasn't saying the Star Wars universe, I was just saying the Old Republic universe.
It's the same universe.
Not according to Disney.
They're just saying it's now non-canon, but still.
Mm-hmm. It's in a universe in the same way that the Power Rangers TV show and the Power Rangers movie are in the same universe.
Yeah. Well, the Power Rangers TV show, and this, which I will be reviewing with James Phoenix as soon as he buys it.
As soon as I get around to getting it, yeah.
Or at this point, should I do the DX thing or just hold up and saying, gonna order it, gonna buy it, gonna order it, gonna buy it, gonna order it, gonna buy it?
Shop Zone.
To a Luigi.
Now available on Amazon, just $9.99. And Marcus Shadow, is that a turtleneck?
No, it's a polo shirt.
Yeah, okay, cool.
What?
Nothing. Jim knows what I was referencing, but yeah, no. Like I said, the Power Ranger comic. Like I said, hoping to review that soon, hopefully before October, so we can do number 2 when that comes out.
Indeed.
Jim needs to spend money, lots and lots of money.
It's not lots and lots of money. It's like $5.
Yeah, it's not pricey. Anyway.
For $5, you can have like fucking 6 weeks of sex with Stacy on the streets.
Pretty much. Anyway, my next bit of news is about the School of Rock. Because, as reported by the Hollywood Reporter, Nickelodeon has ordered a 13-episode straight-to-series adaptation of School of Rock. The film featuring Jack Black and a bunch of kids. The TV show will focus on Dewey Finn, who, while portrayed by Black in the film, will probably not be portrayed by Jack in the TV by Jack Black in the TV series. Who slightly substitutes at a prestigious private school and teaches his students to loosen up and love rock and roll.
The lady who did the principal, because she was freaking awesome.
She was cool. I don't know, but it does say here that School of Rock is one of those great movies that we always felt quintessentially Nickelodeon in its tone and humor, and we jumped at the opportunity to partner with Paramount Television to bring it to life as a TV series, said Russell Hicks, president of content development at Nickelodeon. Casting is going to be announced soon, and shooting is scheduled for later this fall, and the show is going to premiere in the spring. But we do know that School of Rock filmmaker Richard Linklater is on board to executive produce the TV series.
Which, hopefully it's good.
Hopefully.
I will say, there is one concern I would have with that, in terms of how it would do, if that makes sense. It seems to me, watching the kids' shows, like when I watch them with my niece and nephew and shit, the fad, if you will, of kid doing something they shouldn't do is now over. Like Hannah Montana, gone. I'm in the Band, gone. iCarly, gone. Victorious, gone. And then now everything's trying to do babysitting. So it's like, okay, is this gonna feel to kids like, oh, we kind of did this with all the other musical shows and talent shows and stuff that they did? Because that's something they should possibly be aware of. Because it may feel like a Disney's I'm in the Band, or it could feel like Nickelodeon's Victorious or something. So, you know what I mean?
Also, the fact that movie came out like 10 years ago.
It did.
So
but just because something came out a while ago doesn't mean I wouldn't want to see new stuff on it.
No, we would, but all the kids that are the target audience of Nickelodeon probably have no idea what that movie is.
To be fair, the kids nowadays know what Mighty Morphin, except for some that have watched Netflix, do they know what Mighty Morphin is? Yet they're still expected to for Super Mega Fuss.
Touche.
Stuff like that can work, like Ninja Turtles and stuff. You can get stuff from the past and bring it back for an interesting way.
Indeed, indeed. So, speaking of Ninja Turtles, over to Wall.
Thank you. My next bit of news is involving the Office movie. No, I know exactly why you said that, Joe. But my next bit of news is now with its reboot, now sitting on top of the box office with an estimated 65 million debut, which has actually, should be worth noting, another site is reporting a 95 million debut.
Wow. That's kind of a big discrepancy, guys.
Yeah. To be fair, they're estimates. Paramount announced today that they're making a sequel to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The studio has slated TMNT's sequel for a June 3rd, 2016 release, which will see it opening against the animated, but not for kids, Seth Rogen comedy show, Sausage Party. It's unclear at this stage whether director Jonathan Liebsman will return to helm the new picture. According to the Hollywood Report, producer Michael Bay is expected to return to produce, though as are screenwriters Josh Abram and Andre Neckham.
Okay.
It says launching a new take on the Ninja Turtles film world was a daunting task because as fans of them ourselves, we felt a great responsibility to ensure audience were getting the experience and everything they loved about the Turtles, while I'm also getting to see them brought to life in a way that had never been seen before. The result our highest expectations, and the response to the film is beyond great, making it all the more fun to get started on the continuation of their story.
Nice. Did anybody go and see the Turtles movie yet?
No.
I have not.
Okay. I just want to note that I did notice an interesting thing online today is there was a video of Megan Fox who was apparently being interviewed and mentioning that in the Turtles movie there's apparently a very on the down low background cameo from a super relevant character from the TV show. So I don't
All
know.
my friends said was it was ugly but well written. So that's what my friend said.
Fair enough.
Yes, they gave us everything we love about the Turtles, except the fucking Ninja Turtles.
Cameo about of a background character from the TV show. What about the comics? Come on. The 80s cartoon already stopped them being Ninja Turtles. Ooh. Now this is going even further. Come on. I still want to see it because apparently it's a little closer to the comics than that 80s piece of shit. But
Nobody cares.
I'm
about
still
the comics
a
these
little interested in seeing it. And what was that, Marcus?
days. So nobody cares about the comics these days. It's the TV show stuff that sells, unfortunately.
True, and at least
I would actually argue that's not the case because with this being closer to the comics than the 80s show, it's made more money than the movie of that would have done.
True. And also the advantage here being that, as far as I can tell, in this movie, unlike in Secret of the Ooze, in this movie the Turtles are actually allowed to use their weapons.
Yep. You mean not gonna do like the 80s cartoon and give Michelangelo a grapple hook instead of nunchucks?
Yeah, what the fuck was up with that?
Don't ask, that show's beyond retarded.
Fair enough. I remember when I go back and watch old episodes and I see him with that, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't remember him having that. When the hell did he use a grappling hook and not his nunchucks? What is this bullshit? I
Yeah,
didn't
at least
remember
it's
that when
better-
I was a kid.
At least it's better than Donatello walking around with a proton pack on his back. Well, what the fuck, really? Okay, he's the geeky nerdy guy. He's the tech guy. That doesn't mean he has to walk around with a fucking proton pack. Come on. I
would
absolutely
actually say
hate the
the
design of
proton-
Donatello.
In all fairness, that's kind of badass.
Yeah, I'd say the proton pack kind of works because he does use technology, and in the comics he's used technology before now to help benefit himself because he's not quite as good as the ninja. So
Yeah.
that's actually in character. Replacing Michelangelo's fucking nunchucks with the fucking stupid grappling hook would be like if Michael Bay in Transformers decided to remove Optimus Prime's gun and replace it with a sausage.
Would it
Which
be
is
a
ironic
metal
that
edible sausage because he can't eat. He's a robot.
which is
Yeah, he'll throw it at Jewish people. You don't like pork? Eh.
yeah. Which is ironic you make that joke because in Ninja Turtles Secret of the Ooze, Michelangelo couldn't use nunchucks and was forced to, in the scene where they're fighting inside a deli, fight with nunchuck salamis.
Exactly.
I was just saying, you
At least I
can
believe they actually used their weapons in. At least I believe they actually used their weapons in the third film.
True, but I'm pretty sure we've all collectively blocked that film from our memories.
I haven't. When you actually go back and watch it, it's not that bad. When you go back and rewatch the third film, yeah, it's different to the other two, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just different.
I'm still getting
Fair
on that you called the Jews Megatron.
But yeah, over to the big pew pew.
Indeed.
Oh, that was my last
Blow us
news
away
for
with your
the
penis.
I had three news.
Okay, so if Stacey's out of... Yeah.
Didn't you tell me we had to have like 7? 3 seems like a good amount. No one told me how many we had to have.
Over to the Hulk Nation. Marcus, shut up. And you must do your news in the what you're gonna do to other Star Wars.
No, I'm not. But
Hulk Nation. That's like the worst plot ever. Hashtag Hulkanasian, now trending.
so my last piece of news, and I had to take this just because of how ludicrous this is. Sony is being sued for false advertising tied to Killzone Shadowfall.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the lawsuit filed by someone named Douglas Lador claims that Sony advertised the game as having native 1080p resolution, but that Sony used tricks to achieve a subjectively similar quality but not actually 1080p. And here's the ludicrous part, he's asking for $5 million.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't think that guy's going to win. And honestly, after someone that had Killzone, I thought it was 1080p. But then again, like Richter said, it's hard to tell the difference between the two unless you're right up close.
Yep.
And Sony has yet to respond, so yeah,
Of
we'll
course
see.
they do.
Of course
Yeah.
they do, it's probably because it's
Really?
not worth responding.
Yeah, exactly.
Really, $5 million for false advertising? Who the hell do you think you are, Lador?
Yep.
Lador. More like Ladork.
Ah! I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Yes, that's my last bit of news.
But speaking of the dog, over to Jim.
Okay. So what else I got here? Let's see. I got a few more things going here. The next thing I want to mention, we had a discussion about this the other day, is that online this week, a petition was launched on Change.org to have Weird Al Yankovic play the Super Bowl halftime show for the next upcoming Super Bowl. Yeah.
Support that.
Many people, including Mole, have disagreed with this and believe that Weird Al, while a talented performer, is not someone of appropriate caliber to play such an event.
But that would make me actually want to watch it. I don't even fucking watch
I know,
it.
me too. I'm with you.
Like, I can't even watch it now. Fuck sports. You just watch it for the commercials and, like, the halftime show. Cause,
Yeah.
you don't even, like...
But the thing I mentioned with that, Stace, is the halftime show. They had Steven Tyler and people like that there one year. That's music. That's real music. That's not just taking over people's songs and putting different words to it. That's proper music.
I'm sure it is, but I don't know who Steven Tyler is, like the specific reference you're making, so I can't really draw a comparison.
Get out! Just get out right now. Get out, Stacy.
I listen to Broadway musicals. That's the only music I listen to.
How do you not know who Steven Tyler is?
Has he been in a Broadway musical?
Didn't they write like the music for a musical?
I'm just gonna say, just to move this on, I'm gonna just lie and say, sure, Stacey, he was on Munchkin #3 on the Wicked film.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's what I listen to, so those are the artists I would be familiar with.
Back to Jim for what he was continuing.
But yes, anyway, the petition was launched by a gentleman by the name of Ed Ball. It's currently got 119,233 signatures on it. And apparently a lot of people think this is a good idea. The idea being proposed is that in addition to Al singing his parodies, of course, he could also parody past halftime shows, but also have the many, many musicians whose music he has parodied join him on stage to perform combinations of the parodies and the originals to form a big musical extravaganza, which I think would be a cool thing to do.
Also, he's leaving. This could be a good last goodbye.
He's not leaving.
Yeah, he's not making
Yes, he
anyone
is.
Well, no. Weird Al's record contract is expiring, yes, and he's not renewing it, because Al felt that waiting to have 12 songs parodied and ready to go was waiting too long, and by the time he released them, the songs that he parodied were not relevant anymore. So instead, while he's not making full records, he will continue to make new parodies. He'll just release them boom, boom, boom via his own means on his website and online as they're made, rather than waiting for 12 of them to be done.
Yeah, it's like I said, I do like Weird Al. I just don't think he's Super Bowl worthy, if that makes sense, or Super Bowl level. I would give him WrestleMania, which, as people know, we love wrestling. I just wouldn't give him the Super Bowl. It's too big.
Fair enough. In addition, it's also, I've noticed here in an article here, over at the Daily News newspaper, the Daily News is apparently calling out the petition, pointing out that, our article about having Weird Al play the halftime show after the 2012 Super Bowl went viral, in 2012, 2 years ago. So you're a little behind the times there, guy.
Yeah.
So the Daily News is calling him out on that, but
which means they already had a petition type thing like this, and it already failed once.
Well, no, it was just a big article that kind of went viral. People loved the idea. That was an actual petition. But either way, if he gets it, so be it. If not, then we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens.
Fair enough.
Interesting to see how it goes. But yes, back to you, Mo.
Can I just say, it does slightly look weird to me when Jim's face is towards the camera as much as it is, when he had the text document up, so his entire face glued blue like he was now an Azari.
Amazing.
Well, there you go. That's proof that he's asexual.
They're not asexual. They still require a partner to reproduce. They just don't do it physically.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Mo.
Yeah, my last bit of news, which I slightly teased, is The Office is heading to the big screen. That's the UK one, before anyone asks that. With Ricky Gervais planning a celluloid spin-off that will find out what happened to David Brent after he left the place, basically. And it says Brent made no secret of his musical ambitions in the show, and you can also totally check online for him singing songs and giving guitar lessons. Fucking hilarious. And the film will be entitled Life on the Road and follow his efforts to forge a career in the music industry. It will be shot documentary style like the original series. Life on the Road finds Brent currently working as sales rep for a cleaning products company and endeavouring to finance his own UK tour. As Gervais explains in a statement, Brent thinks it'll end up being like a Scorsese film, The Rolling Stones. But it turns out to actually be more of a Where Are They Now documentary. He has to take a few weeks off and cash in a couple of pensions because the seasoned musicians in the band are costing him more than he's getting in ticket sales. Tragic. Life on the Road is also likely to feature Office favourites Gareth, Tim, and Dawn, and will shoot in the UK in 2015. And that was the end of my news for this month. But yes,
Nice.
David Brent, the movie.
Nice.
Good for you guys.
Yep, and for those of you in America, I do believe the UK office is available on Netflix for you to check out.
I believe it is.
It is the one that inspired your less than adequate version.
Yep.
Speaking of less than adequate, what was your next bit of news, Jim?
Huh. Funny. Well, for those of you who are
for no reason, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So, for those of you that are fans of Saturday Night Live, you might be interested to know that the Lonely Island Band, the group led by Andy Samberg, who's done the majority of those digital shorts you know and love, including such things as Dick in a Box, Mother Lover, and all those other great bits.
Also
Lazy
in one
Sunday.
of the lowest received movies of all time, That's My Boy.
Yeah, that too. But that was mostly Adam Sandler's fault.
Yeah, that was Adam Sandler. He's like movie cancer.
Pretty much. Anyway, the
Not
Lonely
according to
Island.
Jim's list.
What are you talking
What's that?
about?
The list you read the other day of who's movie cancer. I do not believe he was on the list.
That's true, he wasn't. Like I said, that was based strictly on money. His movies are terrible, but they still make money,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
His movies
True.
generate a shit ton of money, but yeah, critically they're really shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Lonely Island Band will be getting their own movie. It's going to be made by Judd Apatow, and it will star Andy Samberg, 35, and the other band members, Jorma Taccone, 37, and Akiva Schaffer, 36.
Nice.
And their movie's going to be pretty big. Apparently what they're going to do is Jorma, they've collaborated with a lot of celebrities, and they've worked together before. If I can find what it is, I believe the details are that the two that are not Andy Samberg are going to write the movie, and one of them is directing, I believe, or well, not directing, but is the producing. I think is the deal here. Let me see. Or no, Judd Apatow's producing. This guy's directing. Okay,
I'm really hoping Michael Bolton appears.
that would be amazing. I hope so. But anyway, yes, Taccone and Schaffer will co-direct the movie, and I believe they are also both writing it. They've worked on films before. One of Apatow's films before. Schaffer and Taccone were writers on it, I believe. I can't find the article that said that, but yeah, so they're going to be on that.
It would not surprise me if Justin Timberlake showed up.
Yeah, that'll happen. I can almost guarantee that'll be a thing.
Justin Timberlake. I recognize the name. Isn't he the dude from Shrek 3?
I think so.
I'm kidding. I know who he is. It's just still referring to him as that dude from Shrek 3.
That is hilarious.
Stacy's probably thinking, "Thank you, Mo. You told me who he was."
Yes, exactly. So, yes, that's happening. And one more the final piece of news that I have, just wanted to bring up real quick, because I just found this out quickly before, and while I'm not a big fan of the series, a lot of people are, so I thought I'd bring it. We did get information as to the special stuff that you can get with the Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris Gold Edition, which will be coming out on December the 6th. And depending on where you pre-order it, you can get a variety of different stuff, which is kind of cool.
I like stuff.
Stuff is good.
Comes out December 6th.
December 6th. Or December 9th. Sorry, 9th.
Oh yeah, I was about to say the 6th is. I know for a fact the 6th is not a Tuesday, and your games come out on Tuesday.
No, 9th. Sorry, I turned the number upside down.
Why would
You're
you
not
do that?
wrong.
Why would you turn
Because
the
the
number
go-
upside down and put it on your list? That makes no sense.
I don't know. But yes, the Temple of Osiris Gold Edition collection will include multiple exclusive items, including a 3-inch Lara figurine, an art book filled with never-before-seen concept art, a folding map of the overworld, and the season pass for the DLC. Depending on where you pre-order, you will also get specific stuff, including costumes and weapons, and power-ups, including, for example, assassinate your enemies with the Hitman pack. If you pre-order it on Steam or from participating digital retailers, you'll get the Hitman pack, including the 3 Hitman-themed skins, including the iconic Silver Ballers and the Agent Ring, which will give your character increased weapon damage and more powerful bombs. If you pre-order it on Amazon, you can pick up the Ultimate Augmentation with the Deus Ex pack, which will include the exclusive Deus Ex skins, including Adam Jensen's signature combat rifle and the Augment Ring, which will reduce the cost of treasure chests by 10%. And you can become a legend by pre-ordering the Lara Croft Legend Pack, available only at GameStop, in which you will receive the nostalgic Tomb Raider Legend skins, including Lara's classic green top, brown shorts, and the Golden Pistol and Legend Ring, which will give your character health regeneration powers and a more powerful torch.
Nice.
So depending on where you pre-order it, you can get cool stuff.
I may have to get that.
Yes, and all those versions, of course, include the Season Pass, which includes all future downloadable content, including the Icy Death and Twisted Gears packs. And the upcoming DLC packs will offer 6 additional costumes and will challenge Lara, Carter, Horus, and Isis to conquer additional tombs and collect a treasure trove of unique rings, amulets, and weapons.
Nice. I will say, like I said, want to get that game. However, I will say, when you said the Hitman edition thing, like I said, it needed to be Brett. I'm sorry, her in a pink and black outfit would have been amazing.
That would have been good.
Wouldn't that have been just her in Natalia's outfit?
Yeah, but they'd sell it with the Hitman edition because there's also male playable characters.
True.
There's-
Yeah. So that is the last bit of news for the week. So why don't we take it back over to Mole to kick off the catch-up?
Okay. First up this week, I watched Mass Effect Paragon Lost. Pretty good film. You'll see more about that one eventually, because in the next year, within the next few months or so, we are planning a Mass Effect month on the Gaming Zone.
Nice.
But pretty good film, and it actually makes you kind of like one of the characters I didn't like previously. Pretty good film. It fills in the blank, and it makes him look really good. I also watched Mythbusters, which this week's episode was about the it was new over here, but it's like a season behind for you guys. It was the commercial special with like playing tennis on the wing of an aeroplane and bungee jumping to bob for apples.
Nice.
I want to see that episode. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I love the fact like Jamie's up there and he's like, oh shit, because he doesn't like heights, and they make him bob for apples. And afterwards, Adam's like, so what do you think, Jamie? What did you think? He's just lying back. He's like, can we just do this again to get it over with? And I'm like, that's kind of awesome because you rarely see him like that, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I played and completed all of my Castlevania Lords of Shadow with the 2 DLC packs, which is pretty damn cool. That game's great. I would go into more detail on that, but I think I'm actually going to wait and go into more detail on XGR.
Fair enough.
Since I won't be talking about on XGR this week, I have also been playing
Nice.
Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
So I lost track of...
As we all know, Street Fighter games fucking awesome. And what were you saying, Jim?
I lost track. Are we each going to do all of our catch-up at once? I thought we were going to round robin it again, but okay.
If then,
I'll just do it all once. That's fine.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do that. Continue, Mo.
Yes, you cut off the host. But no, I was saying, yeah, Street Fighter Cross Tekken, pretty awesome. As we all know, Street Fighter games kick fucking ass. And they added characters from the Super Street Fighter series too, like Juri's in there, totally completed as her. And we got like a load of bonuses in that. You can customize the colors of someone. So
Nice.
let's say, for example, I don't know, let's say you were Jim, You might want to turn around and take the character from Tekken of Jin, because it sounds similar to Jim, and put him in a black and gold outfit. You can do that.
Nice. Now, I feel I need to ask a very important question here. Does this game include gender-swapped Vega?
I don't think she's in this one.
Fair enough.
Although she is in my Ultra game, and
Nice.
she's not that bad a character, I'll admit. And you got the gems as well, which can change battle. Like, you have to meet a certain requirement when you equip these gems. Like, let's say one of them is hit 8 normal moves, boom, it gives you a boost, which is kind of cool. There's a mode where you press it and you just glow and turn pure evil, in which case you get the remaining health of your other teammate, and basically you get to fight. It's a 2-on-2. I kind of wish it was 1-on-1. Not enough story there for me. Although I still love the gameplay. You can't touch the Street Fighter gameplay, but
So wait, you gain your opponent's power and you start glowing. So it's Dragon Ball Z mode?
no, this is more because they sacrificed their life.
Ah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a case of that. The story mode though, when you play through, or arcade mode, when you play through that, there is stuff like each time you go to play through, the cutscenes change and stuff. So that's kind of cool, except for the winning one, which is the text and stuff. That's still cool. I like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave it there for this week and just say that's pretty much what I did this week. I've played other stuff and watched other stuff, but that's the end of my week.
What happened to the one thing you didn't like about Street Fighter Cross Tekken that you kept saying to me?
Which one's that?
Where the fuck is Devil Jin?
Yeah, I think I mentioned that in my review. Available now on the Gaming
Fair
Zone.
enough.
But yeah, there's no Devil Jin, but he is teased in the opening and in the cinematic trailer. Because Jin gets blasted into the glass by M. Bison, and then he just starts to go, do you see the wings glow behind? He's like, I'll show you fear, as it fades to black. That's Devil Jin with the evil inside him. Why the fuck isn't he in there?
Yeah.
And a better question is, why the fuck isn't he in there fighting evil Ryu?
Yep.
Yes.
But
Pew Pew, what about your catch-up?
over to Pew.
Alright. For games that I've played, I don't know, did I play Borderlands, like, still this week, or is that technically last week?
You're asking me? I didn't play with you.
No, I mean, like, 'cause, like, you were there when I was playing Borderlands. I don't know. It's
Nope.
either, like, 8 days ago or 7 days ago.
Nobody plays with Stacy, that's why she's so sad.
I prefer, like, to play solo games often.
I
Anyway,
will say I've heard James does play with Stacy.
fuck off. Anyway,
No, she mostly plays with herself.
I'd say I'd be a better lover than Jim will ever be, but... Anyway.
That's not true. I can protest. Jim is a very gentle and thorough lover.
Is that what his mom says?
Okay, let's not start that rumor. Let's not start the rumor I've had sex with Jim.
Yeah, no.
That is, I'm the host.
No.
Anyway.
Google Hangout Canon.
And it is how we got the X-Pound account back.
So,
we'll just leave it at the rumor that I paid Crispy to sleep with him.
But yes, over to you, Pew. Which games... And just to clarify, what stuff have you done this week?
Yes.
That you can remember doing this week.
okay.
That means anything from last Saturday till now.
Okay, I'm gonna say
Actually, no, Sunday till now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Borderlands was last week because I'm pretty sure it seems like a week ago. So.
Fair enough.
So, playing Mass Effect, like I said, thank God Mole's not a drug dealer because he gets me addicted to shit all the time.
Now.
So I'm playing Mass Effect like non-stop. Oh God, 5 fucking seconds in the Mako, boom, hate it. Fuck that. I'm really looking forward to playing the second one. I'm actually starting a male character because I never did a male character before, and I'm going more neutral, kind of renegade. I was going kind of renegade on a lot of the options, but like, I don't know, Mole might have brought up. A lot of times when I tell people, like, fuck you, here's your fucking water that I fucking got for you, and everybody's like, oh my God, you're Jesus! And I'm like, no, I just fucking, like, threw your stupid water that I said I wouldn't get for you at you, and I was very mean to you. You shouldn't accept that, and you shouldn't, like, think of being nice to you.
Mm.
Yeah,
Very
the
like
first,
with Brian. Stop
yeah,
worshiping me. Go the fuck away.
yeah, the first game is probably, in my opinion, the weakest of the three, and yeah, a lot of times it does get the decisions just backwards as fuck. You do something bad, and it gives you good points. You do something good, and it's giving you bad points before now. And you're like, did you do bad?
Ah!
Yeah. It's like, why?
Yeah.
You shouldn't think this is how my behavior should not be acceptable to you unless you're used to domestic violence and abuse and well, what's wrong with you? But yeah, so I've been playing that. Also, I guess they could technically count because over the last 3 days and over the weekend, I have been catching up on Vampire Diaries, and it's looking more interesting because I don't know. Can I talk a little bit about it, or is that spoilers for somebody?
Those two don't really care, and I've seen every episode so far.
Okay, so apparently, plot twist for me only. Klaus has been chilling with Stefan, and he doesn't even remember it because they're in Chicago or whatever, and he was all
Yeah.
"Oh, we're buddies," and he's like, "Fuck this, I don't remember this. You're playing mind games with me," and apparently,
Wait.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, when you found that out and you see the flashback scene with them being buddy, how awesome is it when Stefan makes the dude drink his own wife's blood?
That was fucking crazy, and he writes the name.
That was fucking awesome. He
No.
literally, in front of him, slashed his wife's wrist, pours it into a glass, sends it across, and mind fucks the dude to make him drink it against his will.
He didn't
That is
even
fucking
mind
awesome.
fuck him. He didn't even really mind fuck him. He just made him so scared that if he didn't drink it, he didn't even have to compel him.
No, it wasn't. No, if you looked at how his eyes went when he went like that, with the eyes thing, he was meant to have compelled him. That's why the guy's hand's shaking as he lifts it up, because he's trying to resist it but can't.
I thought he was so fucking terrified that he just made him just by fear alone.
That's still awesome. He makes him drink it. That's how he goes. I just thought that was amazing.
And then he was like, you write down the names so you can relive the kills, you can remember the experiences and stuff. You're so fucking insane. Holy shit. And he's the names of all the women, or men and women he's fucking tortured or whatever.
Yep. Ripper Stefan is awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, this show is really crazy. It makes me keep going back and forth. Because originally when I started this show, I hated Damon. I called him Sir Rapes a lot. And, I fucking hated him. But now I love him. And now, I love Caroline. I used to hate her, too. I love her now. And it's weird. This show keeps me going back and forth and who I love and hate. And it's just crazy.
To be fair with Caroline, she became a better character once she was a vampire. Because the vampire stuff heightened who you are as an individual, so it brought out all the good qualities of her, which she kept hiding before because of her self-consciousness and stuff, which is still there. It's just she can control it a little bit better now.
Yeah, and I'm totally all for the Caroline Tyler thing, so that's cool.
Yeah, and I love Damon. Damon is awesome.
Her dad is fucking insane, man. He had her tied to a chair, and he's trying to make her is he really trying to turn her back into a human, or what the fuck is he trying to do? What is
He's trying to make it so she doesn't want to drink blood.
But she has to till she'll die, or she'll mummify her, or whatever.
Well, you have to admit, her dad is one badass gay, as TV Tropes calls it.
Wait, did you say badass gay?
Yeah, if you listen to the previous conversations, he left her mother for another dude. That's why when she asks him, "Oh, how's Stephen?" he's like, "He's fine," and stuff like that. That's his boyfriend. He's gay, but they don't make a big deal about it. He just happens to be gay. His character itself is just he really hates vampires, so he's going to torture. Which I say that's so fucking progressive. It's awesome. They didn't feel the need to make him big song and dance about the fact he's gay. They're just like, he's gay.
He seems to still have affection for his daughter, so what is he gonna do with her? Does she he's trying to train her only to animal blood, because she already does that. And
I know how it ends. I'm not gonna tell you because that'll make it more delicious.
I just think this plan is kind of short-sighted.
It is, but he sees it more like it's a choice that they drink blood. Which is like someone like Damon mentioned to him. Wait, you're gonna try and basically make someone get over something that they can't help because you think it's a choice. Is that not at least a little ironic to you? just
Oh,
because the guy was gay. That's why he mentioned it, because
Yeah.
that's literally what people do to gays, try to say it's just a choice. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't even see that, but that's cool. So I've been watching that, and that's been really awesome. I actually I have this thing where like I can get like really good Netflix in the car, so I've mostly been watching it in car rides, like here.
Explain why you crashed a little more.
Yeah,
Oh, fuck off.
that's I don't know why you don't have a car anymore.
No, like, fuck you. I wasn't driving and watching Netflix, but people have been driving me around for the last 3 days, so I've been watching Netflix while being driven around.
Fair enough.
Also, for a joke that only Mo will understand, I hear that a glass of nicely harvested wife blood goes very well with a little Mr. and Mrs. Tenderman chili.
Nice. But what else have you done this week, Pew?
Vampire Diaries. Also,
Minecraft.
oh, that's right. I did play Minecraft for a little bit. I finished my Emerald City, and yeah, you know the stuff I did more better than I do.
I'm just gonna say to you, Pew, yeah, we know, the audience don't.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you're reminding me.
Yeah.
Because like you know it better than I do. Because yeah, I did play Minecraft. I finished my Emerald City with emerald walls and diamonds. I think I'm gonna make a golden brick palace to the present or golden brick walkway to the peasant village, which I made it. That'll be fun.
Follow the Golden Brick Road. Follow the
Yeah.
Golden Brick Road.
Yeah, exactly. So it's right next to the peasant village, which would be like the Munchkins. So
There you go.
Technically, isn't it meant to be Yellow Brick Road?
yeah,
It is, but she's making it out of gold.
yeah.
You
all right.
egotistical bastard, always having to make it gold.
It's for Simon. It'll be because he has to be fabulous.
There you go.
Anyway.
By the way, question.
It's a tribute. That road is a tribute to James Phoenix, aka, as he's mentioned before, he does like to be called Gold Phoenix Ranger, because as we all know, Pew Pew just can't get enough of him.
No, she can't. It's true. It's true. But on an unrelated note, since we brought up Minecraft real quick, I will just mention, if anybody's been keeping an eye on our on the channel of our good friend the Aeon Rider over there, he did just re-upload part 2 of his Minecraft Let's Play. There was a rendering and upload issue. Something was wrong with the video. He took it down and he fixed it and he re-uploaded it. So it's good to go.
Nice.
And the last
Oh,
thing I
cheetah.
played, which I forgot about, but Mo reminded me about as well, without saying it. I also got Lego Marvel Batman Lego game.
See, Maul has to remind her, because a couple of, like, what was it, like a night ago, 2 nights ago, she used to know who Steven Tyler was and everything she'd done until James fucked her brains out.
Fuck off. Don't you know I'm like Dory from frickin' Nemo. I just forget everything instantly.
And Marvel and Batman are two
You know what?
different entities. Which is it, Stace?
It's Batman. I played Lego Batman.
And then, if you're
One or
like
two.
Finding Nemo, does that mean you're also going to be in a sequel I don't give a shit about?
Ha!
Okay, the first one, and it was really fun. I actually thought, like, because after the episode, which was like 40 minutes, it gave me the credits, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I thought it was over, and I'm like, really? The whole game was 40 minutes long, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I was like talking to Mo, and then I was like, oh my god, no, guess what? It's not 40 minutes. It was just the first episode. Yay! Because I was like, this rip off ever. It was like 40 minutes. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt, because I'm like, what the shit? And then like there's a whole-
Everything is awesome.
Ha!
and then there's a villain side to it too, and I'm looking forward to playing Clayface. He looks fucking adorable. Him
Indeed.
and Robin are great.
And Lego Batman 2 is just as awesome, if not more awesome. I haven't played the first one, so I can't compare, but I can say that Lego Batman 2 is awesome. Check out Crystal Mall and Mark Shadow's review, now available on the X-Pound.
Yep. No, now available on the Gaming Zone.
Oh, okay.
Everything is awesome.
But I will say, yeah, the second one is better. However, I still recommend playing the first one.
Yes, definitely.
Fair enough.
They're both good games.
Fair enough.
So
Did
that's
you do anything
all.
else this week, Pew Pew?
I think that's it.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Experienced cooking. There you go. I made cooking for the first time. I made scrambled eggs.
Yep. Okay, and
There you go.
based on what Pew Pew said on the last thing she'd done this week, of speaking of things that are short and adorable, Marcus Shadow.
Ah,
I called you adorable. That's a compliment.
True.
He's not wrong.
Well, let's see. To get out of the way, I've been playing Mass Effect. I bought the Mass Effect trilogy on PS3.
Thanks to
I do own the trilogy. Yes, thanks to Mo. I do own the trilogy on 360, but I want to eventually, when I get to the third one, I'm going to be playing that multiplayer with Mole and Stacy and Richter and Bell if he's around. So I've been playing the first one. I decided to go with the Fem Shep, as my original was a regular Shep. And I'm enjoying it so far. And it's actually kind of scary how much of the first game I actually remember as I'm playing through this game. I'm like, I remember this. I remember that. I need to go here. And I'm like, wow, I haven't played this game in so long.
Can I just slightly point out the sexism?
What?
I'm now playing as a femme Shep because my original Shepherd was a normal Shep. So what, women aren't normal to you?
well, they're not normal to him. He never spent time on them.
Default Shep, okay? How is that better?
Yeah, male Shep. That's what you.
Technically, the
Matt
male
Shep.
option is the default option, so.
No, because they're both like an option. There's a default for women and the
No,
default for...
he means when he says default, he means the option is originally on male until you flick over to female.
Yeah.
Which technically default would be allowed. Yes, I'll go with default.
Okay, fine. I can understand
Let's make
Marcus
that
Shadow
joke of normal and women.
about female.
How are you finding it?
It's still fun. I still love the first game. I really do. You know, I do see the faults in it. I saw the faults in it before, like the Mako's complete crap. Although I do like the Mako, I just don't like how it controls. It's kind of shit.
Fair
I like the
enough.
concept of the Mako. You know, having this big ass tank, I think it's kind of cool.
And you're gonna love the next Batman game.
Don't remind me.
You mad, bro?
Yes, I am.
Everything is Bat-Tank.
No. No.
Batank. Ba-na-na-na-na. Batank. Ba-na-na-na.
No.
Tank.
As of recently, I've been actually getting into HGTV a lot more. I love Property Brothers and House Hunters. I'm actually learning quite a bit about, you know, what to look for when you go buy a house, and kind of because they do a lot of renovation stuff. So you kind of learn about what could possibly be behind there and how certain things work. So it's kind of fascinating to me. I can't believe, and I've been watching this for a while now, and worst house I saw was this week. I was just like, wow, it boggled my mind. Where they had wired the house, you know, for electricity, and they did it illegally to the point that they had an outlet next to a bathtub. The outlet wasn't in an outlet box to seal it, so water could drip down in there, which would then turn around and electrocute the person in the tub. Yeah.
Would that actually turn around and electrocute the person in the tub?
Yes, because the cord was running through where the tub was, so it'd be like it would just be a feedback pull straight into the tub.
Ah, fair enough. I was thinking you were thinking it was going to come up through the drips, because I was going to say, I know from watching Mythbusters, electric doesn't travel up through drips.
Yeah, no. And then on top of that, they had found leftover like wood and cardboard and kindling stuff from the construction inside there. So should there be an electrical spark in there, not only would it fry the person in the tub, but it would burn the entire house down.
Is anyone else thinking this house was designed by Jigsaw? And there'd probably be cameras around the place.
Could be.
Oh, it definitely. I mean, on the main level, they had, you know, through like your ceiling, if you have a 2-story house, you have joists that support the upper level. Whoever went through and retrofitted this house went through, cut off like 2 of the ceiling joists so they could make room for the plumbing for the upstairs and for a like steel thing that was going up through the house. I think it was like for the ventilation hood or something. So it's like, oh my god. So not only are you trying to kill the person in your main bathroom and burn the house down, now you want your entire upper level to come crashing down because you just destroyed the support beams. Brilliant.
Of course they want it to come crashing down. Emergency exit when the fire happens.
So I felt really...
And so that's it for this episode of This Old House with Marcus Vila.
Yes! But yeah, I felt so bad for that family, though. I was like, wow, because I had to pay to fix all of that on top of the renovation cost. I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
They should have just built their own house.
Maybe.
You can actually get a house cheap with wire and water and shit nowadays because they now do flat packed houses where they all look the same. All you got to do is buy the land pretty cheap and place the house on it.
Yep.
True. But yeah, so I'm finding those series fascinating.
Very
Sound pretty good.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah, let's see, what else did I do this week? I think that's about it, really.
Fair enough. Then over to Jim.
Thank you. I have a few things to talk about this week. First thing that just occurred to me a minute ago, that since Marcus is talking about these shows that I want to mention, I've been watching this the last couple of weeks, but I didn't mention it last week, so I'll mention it for this week.
Wasn't me, my hands are here.
Anyway.
No. I'm not going to do it again. The shows you're watching this week.
Yeah, anyway. The show I was watching this week.
That one was not me.
Wasn't
Anyway.
me either.
Anyway, like I was saying. One of the new shows, I don't know if anybody here watches the show Pawn Stars on the History Channel.
Oh, I love Pawn Stars.
Pawn, not porn, Mole.
Dumb. I'm sorry, you lost my interest now.
I know.
No, I'm kidding.
Anyway.
I've seen that.
Well,
They
there's-
do pronounce both words porn. So yeah.
Fair enough. Well, anyway, there is now a spin-off of Pawn Stars. It's called Pornography.
And you're saying it was only me that made that pun. The way you corrected how I pronounced it.
Nah. No, but Pornography. It's basically a game show. And basically the way this show works is the host is a guy by the name of Chris Titus. You might know him as a stand-up comic or from his Fox television show Titus.
He's fucking retarded. All his jokes are he's just high and doesn't understand shit.
Yeah.
You?
Yeah, I was about to say, you stole your gimmick.
He's like, hey, when I fell on the floor and did drugs, I couldn't go lower than the floor. Yeah. And that's what he fucking does.
You said that to us last week.
I listen to like comedy whatever while doing my like really boring like typing work or whatever. So I've heard his
You said that
comedy.
to us last week. You were like, Mo. I was like, yeah. You said I fell to the floor today, and I was like, oh. And then you mentioned that. I was like, oh, okay.
No, that's his sketches. He just says something stupid and then says something that doesn't make sense and puts it together.
Fair enough.
Like a fucking Family Guy joke or something, except, I don't know, it's stupider.
Why?
Not really. He tells stories about his life that are hilarious. That's pretty much what he does.
He's a fucking stoner asshole. I don't know.
Okay, then. Anyway.
Why, Mole? Why?
What did I do?
No, I'm just asking you why.
I don't know. But Jim with his game show.
Yes. So it's hosted by Chris Titus, and basically what the way the show runs is that it's basically it starts off with a Jeopardy style, not Jeopardy style, but just asking general knowledge questions. And there's two contestants, and then for the first round, the third contestant is Chumley and Corey, also known as Big Hoss. And the two of them play together, and they play against the contestants as you can get the most points. After that's happened, the second round, the contestants play against Rick Harrison, of course, the main character of Pawn Stars. And they see who can raise the most points. Whoever wins has the most points at the end of the 2 rounds goes on to the final round. And the final round, the contestant and the Pawn Stars, the 3 of them together, will answer each the same 10 questions. And then they will determine who answered the most questions correctly. And the way it works is, for each of the rounds as they play, valuable items from the pawn shop are the prizes. Stuff that they've gotten over the years that has a good amount of value are the prizes. Cool, unique stuff you can get. And basically, you as you win the rounds, you can get these prizes. And there's a lot of prizes stuff. If you earn as you win the rounds, the prizes are added to the grand prize total. And the grand prize at the end is if you get more questions right than the Pawn Stars, you win the prizes. But there's a catch, because after you each answer the questions, and the other team's at the soundproof booth, so they don't know. Before Chris reads the answers to show who got the most answers correctly, they're offered an opportunity where Rick will, much like on Pawn Stars, haggle with the contestant and try to get them to accept an amount of money to leave before and accept that amount of money instead of checking the questions to determine if they got it right, normally for a lower amount of money than the value of the items. So there's a last ditch.
So, are you smarter than a 10-year-old, but replace 10-year-old with a porn star with an element of Deal or No Deal?
No, it's like the show Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady.
Kind of like that, yeah. The last round is like kind of make a deal. It's basically you start off with earning points in the prizes, and then at the end it's Let's Make a Deal. It's do you go for the prizes or will you take this amount of money? Except on Let's Make a Deal, you really don't know what the price is behind the door. In this case, you know what the prizes are.
Yeah, that's what Deal or No Deal does with the banker.
True, but in this case, yeah, it's do you take the money being offered, or do you go for the value? Do you take the risk of did you get more questions right to possibly get the items? So it's kind of an interesting show. We'll see if it lasts, but it seems like a kind of a cool thing with the knowledge of the Pawn Stars and general knowledge questions, as well as seeing all these cool things that are at the pawn shop that are worth money. It's kind of cool.
That does sound pretty cool.
It's an interesting show. It's only like the 3rd or 4th episode's on. It's only came out a few weeks ago, but it seems like a cool show so far. Let's see, what else have I done this week? Also this week,
Watch Dogs.
I've been playing some more Watch Dogs. Yep. That's a fun game. I rented this once before. I've rented it again, as you can see by the many stickers on it. It is not mine. But it's a really fun game. I would like to get the PS4 version inevitably, but it is a really fun game. It's a lot like the show Person of Interest that I've talked at length about. Check out my review on the X-Pound. And a lot of hacking with your phone, a lot of stealth missions, getting around bad guys, doing cool stuff. There's driving, all kinds of different missions. You can even play chess and cards, mini games. It's pretty cool. So I really like this game a lot. I'm just I got to return this by Tuesday, so I'm gonna just try to play through a few more story missions and then return it. And then I'll probably try something else.
Jim, if you haven't already, try the digital trips.
I have not tried any digital trips yet. I should do that.
You have to, because they're fucking crazy. Try the ones with
You must play the spider tank. Play the spider tank.
You and the spider tank.
Fucking
You
psychedelic.
must play a better game.
I see what you did there.
You gotta try some of those.
Thank you for the applause.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm playing Watch Dogs, fun game. If you haven't, check it out. It's available now. PS3, 360, Xbox, and PS4. Check it out. Fun game, awesome. PC. However, you'll know that the PlayStation versions, both 3 and 4, come with an extra 60 minutes of content. So booyah. In addition to that, I also watched 2 new movies this week. The first movie I'm not going to talk about much here because there will be a full review of it for the summer of Disney, and that will be Frozen, of course, Disney's most recent picture. We will be talking about that collectively. Yes, we have a lot of disparaging opinions on the film. So stay tuned. I will just say I enjoyed while there are, I note, some problems with the film, I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a good film.
Don't give too much away or they won't watch your thing or whatever. Jim says blah, blah, blah. Erase that from your memory. Watch the video, and then you'll find out.
I'm not saying anything beyond that. I'm just saying I thought it was a good film. I liked it, although I think there's some issues with it.
Wait till the review, and you'll enjoy it.
That's like saying you shouldn't have talked about Mass Effect as you're doing a Mass Effect 1 review for the Gaming Zone. Let the man speak.
Yeah, fucking hypocrite. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but I'm gonna forget everything by like tomorrow, so like I can say it again.
Anyway. But yeah, Frozen, like I said, a good movie. I liked it. I think there's some issues with it, but I thought it was an overall good movie. I enjoyed it, and I will talk more about that in my review forthcoming.
With me.
With Mole, and if he can watch it in time, and Stacey, and if Marcus Scheller can get it and watch it in time, maybe he'll join us too. We shall see. The second film I watched this week was Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. That was a hilarious movie. I will say, it doesn't quite have the magic of the first. It's not quite as quotable, but it's still a great sequel. There's a lot of references to things in the first movie. The story makes sense except for one annoying plot hole in that at the end of the first movie, Ron and what the hell's his girlfriend's name? Veronica Corningstone are working at GNN, only for the second movie, no, they're working for another network, and then Ron gets hired by GNN. Like, wait a minute here. But other than that,
People get fired and rehired all the time.
true, but except GNN didn't exist according to the second movie. It was being founded, and they were being hired for this founding of this new first ever 24-hour news network. So it's like, okay, I guess then you wanted to use that for that. Fair enough. But anyway, hilarious movie. All the cast are back. They're hilarious. A lot of funny jokes, funny references. And I will say, I think the Newsman Brawl was better than the first movie. I like the Newsman Brawl. For those of you who've seen the first movie, of course, there's a hilarious Newsman Brawl with a lot of celebrities showing up as different news teams. Ben Stiller was leading the Hispanic news team. There was who else was in there? I'm trying to remember. There was when the two started, a whole bunch of other news teams came in being led by different people. There was the PBS like public service news team. There was all different news teams from other networks being led by other celebrities. It was pretty funny. They did a little better this time with the news brawl. I will say it was just as good. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, rent the DVD or the Blu-ray. Spoiler alert. I don't think anybody here cares who's going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Are you going to watch it? Okay, never mind then.
No, you can say, though.
All right. Well, I was going to say, the funny, basically what happens is, near the end of the movie, Ron and Veronica have a son, and Ron is trying to, has basically realized that the movie's kind of been neglecting his son, and he's trying to get to his piano recital. And so as he and his guys are running out, they run through the park, and they run into the rival newsman team of the movie being led by pretty boy newsman Jack Lime, who is being portrayed by Brandon Routh. And hilarious. Was it Brandon Routh? I can't remember who the hell. No, not Ralph. Was it? I don't remember who the hell it was. Anyway, the pretty boy news team hit an anchor, and of course this launches into the film's Newsman Brawl, where you get a lot of other newsmen jumping in, and they had, I think, a better selection of celebrities playing. I think they did a very good job with the celebrities playing the news people. In addition to, it's James Marsden. Okay, wrong pretty boy. James Marsden. James Marsden. What's that?
Cyclops.
So James Marsden is pretty boy Jack Lime, who throughout a lot of the movie has to call himself Jack Lame because he loses a bet to Ron Burgundy. But anyway, people that pop out include, but are not limited to, Sacha Baron Cohen leading the snooty British news team. Will Smith leading the ESPN Sports News team. Jim Carrey as Scott Ryall's Canadian news team, overly polite Canadian news team. There's another woman with him on the Canadian news team, but I don't know who that is.
They should have done something else with her.
What's that?
Come on. Jim Carrey, news person? They should have made it Bruce.
That would have been funny as hell.
They should have made it Bruce. That would have been epic.
That would have been good. We also have, let's see here, Tina Fey and Amy Poehler as Jill Jansen and Wendy Van Peel, Entertainment News. They had Liam Neeson as leader of the History Network news team because, as Liam Neeson puts it, we're on news too, just really, really late. And I will say, one of the best things they did was on the History News team, they did have John C. Reilly as the ghost of Stonewall Jackson. which was pretty amazing during the news for all when he sucked some dude's soul out. That was pretty funny. That was hilarious. They also had, what else do we have here? Harrison Ford was in the movie because Harrison Ford played the senior news course, the senior, the Dan Rather, the head senior news guy who was retiring, and led to some of the main conflict. And he shows up and turned into a were hyena, which was random. and what was probably my favorite thing to show up. Kanye West comes in MTV News. At which point it cuts back to the news team, and Ron Burgundy goes, "What the hell is MTV?"
Nice.
So a lot of great cameos in there for the news teams and whatnot. Just a ton of them going back and forth. It was hilarious. I'm sure there's probably others that are not listed here that I can't remember, but there's so many great ones. And
I will say they all sounded great. The only two I didn't like is I don't like Kanye West, and I really don't like, even though I mentioned him in the Alice news, I really don't like the guy that did it with Ali G.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen. He's an acquired taste, and everybody likes him. Oh, Marion.
I liked him. I liked him as Ali G originally, but he went way too far with Bruno and Borat and all this other crap.
Fair enough. I was like, the other newscaster who was with Jim Carrey is Marion Cotillard, and they had this running joke where they're both the Canadian news anchors, but Jim Carrey's the regular Canadian news anchor, and Marion Cotillard is the Quebec French news anchor, the French Canadian news anchor, and they kind of argue with each other over which is the real news of Canada. It's pretty funny.
Nice.
And then, of course, in the badass end moment, after the news brawls, the team manages to get away. After the one, I will say that they did manage to top the scene in the last movie, where they're having the news brawl and Brick pulls out a hand grenade, and they're like, "Brick, where'd you get a hand grenade?" "I don't know." They top that. Everybody's pulling out weapons and things, and then doing the news brawl, and after everybody introduces himself, it cuts back to the main news team with their weapons. And they're like, "Brick, what is that?" "A gun from the future." "Where'd you get a gun from the future?" And he just laughs. Like, wow, that's badass. But anyway, they did have the one badass moment where after they escaped and tried to get away and they got cornered by the Pretty Boy News team again, they were saved by Vince Vaughn as West Mantooth and his badass team of Channel 9 news guys from San Diego on motorcycles who emptied their gas tanks out and inadvertently set themselves on fire when Brick dropped a sparkler.
Nice.
Which was hilarious. And yes, he did make a reference to his mother, sweet old Dorothy Mantooth, which was important. So that was good. So that's overall Anchorman 2. If you're a fan of Anchorman 1, go see it. If you weren't a fan of Anchorman 1, just look at a few kicks out of it, but you won't enjoy it as much. Overall, good movie.
What if you're only a fan of Anchorman the Lost movie?
Good question. I haven't actually seen that, so I can't really attest. I need to see that. And the final thing to mention here, continuing my report that I think I mentioned this on last week's program, Kingdom Keepers Book 2. You might remember I talked a little bit about Book 1. It's pretty awesome again. Group of 5 teenagers in the range of the 14 to 15-year-old age range are made holographic tour guides at Disney, but when they go to sleep, they become their holographic tour guides, and they have to fight off the actual Disney villains who are real because people believe in them and are trying to take over the park and the world. Badass series.
That's a huge fucking bookmark.
I know. It's actually really what it is. It's the receipt paper for tell me when the book is due back at the library.
Now you just pulled it out. Do you remember where it went?
Yes, because I kept my finger in the page.
Ah, good.
I'm not that stupid.
How does the librarian who loves books not have an actual normal bookmark?
Because this is much easier to keep track of. And I get one with every book, so I know I'm going to have one.
Fair enough.
But,
yes, Kingdom not having the control pad.
Fair enough. But yes, in the second book of the series, the majority of the book is taking place in Disney's Animal Kingdom for this one. I haven't finished it yet, as you can see. I'm only about that far into it. But this takes place in the Animal Kingdom, where a new server hosting the holographic guys is being set up. And even though they patched in the first book, what they revealed is that if their hologram versions of them are captured, then their real selves won't wake up ever. They're calling it Sleeping Beauty Syndrome, or SBS, because Disney joke. And so in this one, the villains have a hold of the new DHI server that does not have the patch, so they could still, if they capture them, keep them that way. So that's a hazard. If they fall asleep, they're basically going to get captured. And all kinds of shit is hitting the fan, and one of their friends gets captured, and they got to save them. A lot of shit going on. Pretty awesome so far. And again, the fact that what is this guy, Ridley Pearson? It's hard to see his name, but it's right there. Ridley Pearson, the author, actually has he has a lot of contacts at Disney, and he has some ridiculous research to make sure that everything mentioned in these books about the Disney parks, aside from the villains being alive, of course, is accurate to the parks. You can go there, and if you were to go behind the scenes and all these different hidden places, you would see that it is accurate. based on all these interviews, the people that work at Disney, tours, seeing the stuff, it's all accurate. So it's not only just a cool fictional story about fighting Disney villains, it's an amazing glimpse inside different aspects of Disney parks and things you might not have known about Disney parks. So that's pretty cool, too. So this is book 2 of 7. I'm working on it. Like I said, at the rate I'm going, I'll probably finish this one and have the third one at least partially done by next week. So this will be an ongoing series for Around the Pound for the next few weeks. Stay tuned.
Cool. And like I said, then that sounds like a cool series, and it's good that they've tried to make it authentic.
They did, yeah. He's very, very important that he made that authentic and realistic with Disney. Again, this is kind of, I know this was mentioned. People are wondering, will they make a movie series out of this inevitably? It would be cool. Whether they will, I don't know. Again, the issue being, you've got 7 books worth of material you have to cover. You're going to run into that Harry Potter issue of your kids are going to age really damn fast. And okay, in Harry Potter it worked because the kids were supposed to be aging at least a little bit. In this, it's supposed to all be taking place over the course of like a year, maybe a year and a half through all the series, I think. There's like a month or 2 in between each one. So your kids are going to age way too damn fast, so that could be a problem. But all
you got to do with that is unlike Harry Potter, don't let them just show up on the set drunk and actually give a shit about the acting for a start, but also actually turn around when you do it. Just change the story slightly, just so you're saying that basically it's happening not over the course of a year, it's multiple years.
Yeah, expand it out. That would make sense.
Yeah, it's like I have no problem with like Spider-Man being adapted, and the difference between the 2 films, they actually set them 4 years apart, so the actors aged 4 years. It's like, well, come on, he's fought those villains close to him. I'm like,
yeah, fair enough.
I can allow it for the age.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do this, because it would be interesting casting to make this a pretty cool movie. And you'd have the only thing is how you would do the Disney villains. Would you want live actors playing them, or would you want to CGI them in to make them look like their Disney counterparts, or how do you do it? So that's the other question.
Hook.
What's that?
You as Captain Hook.
Fair enough. Captain Hook. Anyway, yeah, but anyway, great book series. I'm still going through it. Again, there is a sequel series forthcoming. I'll probably go into that after this one comes out, as the sequel series is being released, obviously. But it's a great series for all ages. If you're, if you have kids, or you are in the younger age range and you like Disney, give it a read. If you're someone older like us and you like Disney, give it a read. It's fun, and because the writing is really easy to read because of the initial target audience, so you feel really smart when you read it. So
yeah,
there you go.
If you're an older person, go out today and rent the book or buy the book right now. If you're a younger person, Kindle it.
Exactly. Nook, baby, Nook. So with that, let's turn it back over to Chris the Mole for the wrap-up.
Yeah. I will say thank you for that, and yeah, thank you for joining us for another rendition of Around the Pound. And I will say, see ya.